Hello and welcome back. In this video, we want to talk about something very important in all programming languages, not only PHP, and that is function. And functions are block of code that can be reused in multiple places within your project. So if you have a specific line of codes that you are using again and again in different places, you can use functions for that. So the syntax for function, let's first open comment, is the word function, and then next to it we write the identifier, which is the name of the function that you'll use later to call it. Okay, and then the parentheses and then brackets. Inside our parentheses we have something called argument. So we can put as many argument as we like inside this parenthesis, and we separate between them with comma. Okay, so the same like what we did with the expressions in the loops, we put the expressions inside and separate them with commas. So inside the function we put something called argument. An argument mainly it will be variables, like we will see in our example in a minute. Okay, so we have argument 1, argument 2, and argument 3. You can have as many arguments as you want, it doesn't matter. So inside the function, this is called the function body. And this function body, this is where you write all the code that will be executed when you call the function. Okay, in PHP we have two kinds of functions. Today we will talk about something called user defined function, and user defined function also called the external function, because it's not built within the PHP, so you are the one that build it, the user I mean. Okay, and we have another kind of function which is built-in function or internal function. So built-in function, or also we can call it internal, okay, or predefined. So it's already defined inside PHP. So this is all names for the built-in function. And built-in function, we've seen some examples in the previous lessons. For example, we've seen this right here, var dump in the data type. So the var dump is a function. It's an internal function that does a specific job. Okay, so it's built in. We didn't actually build it ourselves. So this var dump will go into whatever variable it have here, and it will go check the type like we seen in the data type lesson. It will check the type and also give us the value and also give us the number of characters inside this variable. So this is an example of a built-in function. We will study a lot of them in the next video. So for now, let's move on. We will create our own function. For example, we write first the word function, like we agreed in the syntax up here. Let's delete this. So we write first the word function, then parentheses, and then our brackets. Okay, and inside the function, let's say for example I wanna function name, we forgot it. Let's say our function is called, say, hello, for example. So this function is supposed to say hello, like we will see in a minute. Let's say echo, and let's echo a paragraph, an HTML paragraph, and inside the paragraph let's echo hello from PHP. Okay, for example, and close our paragraph and save that. Let's go check in our browser. So go to localhost and functions. So like we see, we have nothing. because we didn't call our function, we just created the function right now. So to use the function, we need to call it. Let's go back, and inside here we can say the name of the function, which is say hello, and then the parentheses, and this is how you call a function. Okay, so the name of the function and parentheses. Okay, so save that. Let's go back, refresh, and now it says hello from PHP. So the function was executed. Okay, so let's go back. The next thing we want to talk about is the argument, which I have inside the parentheses, like we agree in the syntax. Okay, so my argument is data that I pass to the function so that it will be used inside the function. Okay, so it makes arguments, it makes the function more dynamic, like we will see in a minute. Let's see the example so we'll understand what we are talking about. For example, let's write the variable name inside here. Okay, so now we have only one argument, and it's the variable name. But where is this variable name? It's not created. We didn't create a variable like this. This variable will be created inside here. Okay, so inside our parentheses, we will write the value of the first argument, which is this variable name. Okay, so let's say the name, for example, my name. So now I have this argument and I have the value for it. Okay, but I didn't use it inside my function. So I can use it, for example, let's say just hello, and then concatenate name. So now it will say hello and whatever name is passed in here. Okay, so let's save, refresh, and now it says hello Shihab. Okay, let's go back. We put the name outside of the paragraph, that's why it came in a different line, but we can take it inside here. Let's concatenate inside the paragraph, and so now the name is concatenated inside the paragraph, so it will all come in one line. Let's check one thing. What happens if I didn't write this value right here? So if I have an argument in here in the function and I don't have the value for it when I call the function. So let's save that and go see what will happen. Refresh, and now it says syntax error. Okay, no, this is not actually the error we want to see. Let's go back, and we forgot the concatenation in here on this side. Okay, so save, let's go back, and this is the error we are looking for. Again, it says warning, missing argument 1 for say hello. Okay, on line 6. Okay, so it was defined the argument 1 on line 3, and then it was not given the value on line 6 came to call the function. So this is what it says right here, missing argument. Okay, and also undefined variable actually. So because the argument doesn't exist, the variable name became undefined because it doesn't have a value. Okay, so the function only echo hello and no name next to it. Let's go back. So this is what happens when I forget the arguments. So I have to write my arguments right here, for example my name here. Now if we save, go back and refresh, it's working correctly, hello and Shihab. Okay, let's go back and make a space here between them. So this is a function now with one argument inside of it. Let's say I want to add another argument. Like we said in the beginning of the lesson, we have the ability to add as many arguments as we like. So we put comma, and then the variable, the next variable, or the next argument. So variable, for example, age, and let's add some more into this paragraph. Let's say, for example, your age is, and then concatenate the age in here. Okay, so concatenate the variable age, age small, not capital. Like we know from before, the variables name are case sensitive. So if I write age capital here, it will not work, of course. Your age is, for example, this. And here now I have to pass two values. Okay, so I have first my first argument, which is my name, Shihab, and then I have the second argument after a comma. And then I'll write the second argument, for example, let's say 27. So now I have my age, which is 27, the second argument, and I have my name, which is Shihab right here, the first argument. Okay, and we use both arguments inside the function. You cannot use them if you like, no problem. So if I didn't use this age, for example, if I only have this line of code, it's not a problem. Okay, so I can have an argument and not use it inside the function. Let's save this and go back, refresh, and now it says hello Shihab, your age is 27. Okay, so now I have two arguments, which is this number right here, the age, and also the name. Okay, let's go back. This is all we want to see in this intro to functions. We will still have a couple of lessons. Another lesson to talk about the user-defined functions, like this one here. Like we say in the beginning, this is user-defined because we built it. Okay, and we have another video also about PHP built-in or predefined functions. So we will talk about important ones that we will use a lot. We'll give some examples about it. But for now, this is all we need to know about functions. So we need to know the basic syntax and the arguments and how to use them. And what will happen if I forgot to put the values in here. And also, one last thing, the argument, the value in here can be a variable. So for example, I can put a variable name here and define the variable up here. So I can have the variable defined already up here. So for example, Shihab. Okay, I still have to write it here like this. I can't just take it away because it's already defined up here. Okay, I still have to write it to tell the PHP that this name variable is the variable we are talking about here. I still have to write. Okay, so this also will work. Let's go. Refresh, and it's still working the same way. Hello, Shihab, your age is 27. Let's go back. So this is everything we need to see in this intro to functions, and I will see you in the next lesson.